What are your impressions of him?
He's great. Physically very gifted athlete, very gifted thrower. He's got all the tools, and I think he's going to be a great player here. Whether that's this year or 2 years from now or 3 years from now, whenever that is, he's going to play really well.
Are you and the other guys, you and Wilton and Shane, mentoring him?
Yeah, definitely.
Do you see that coming along? You see the mental side of the game?
Yeah, definitely. I think every part of his game, from spring ball to now, has improved.
John, are the three of you guys still splitting reps evenly at this point, or have things changed?
Yeah, us three, I would say, take about 30% of the reps, and then the other 70% goes to Eric Magnuson. Yeah.
So
we're splitting reps.
do you feel like that'll continue next week with or without Eric? Do you anticipate splitting reps up until Thursday, Friday?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if any of us saw it going this far, so
Really?
I think it'll continue, and whenever that, like I just said, whenever that decision comes, it's not really up to us, and I don't know if any of us know when it's coming, but eventually a decision has to be made, obviously.
You talked about protecting the
we got a
ball.
couple more minutes with the quarterbacks.
Protecting the ball
Graham
better
Perry's behind
in this
you.
camp. What happened with you in spring in that way? I mean, were you not happy with how you protected the ball in spring, and then what have you done differently, I guess, to maybe improve that?
Yeah, I think you heard Coach talking about eliminating the big mistake, and that's something that I felt like I've done very well this camp. And in spring ball, I wasn't as comfortable with the reads, and I was still trying to, feel out being back in a huddle and leading the team, and got all those kinks out in spring ball. And I feel like that's been my biggest stride, is just the retention of the offense, being able to just go out and just play football again.
Are you still playing the same? When you were at Houston, you could cut it loose sometimes and let it go, which worked out for you. Are you still? Do you walk a line on that of I got to protect the ball, but I also can't not be myself, sort of thing?
Yeah, I think you have to. I think you saw somebody like Jake Rudock last year protect the football very well. Especially the second half of the season, and that's something I've tried to learn from. You look at the guys across the NFL that have had a lot of success and played a lot of years, and they're guys that have protected the football, and that's what it takes to be a good quarterback and lead a team to a championship.
Do you think Jim keeping you guys in the dark on when he's going to decide, how he's going to decide, is that intentional to sort of keep you guys on edge and competing, that type of thing?
Yeah, I just answered that, but yeah, I think everything's a test. I think honestly all three of us have kind of surprised the coaches with how well all three of us have played and how close it's been. So I think everything's continuing to be evaluated and will be until that decision's made, whether it's before September 3rd or afterwards.
Aside from the quarterback battle itself, what's going to be good about this offense?
We have so many playmakers, so much talent, and experience too. Aside from Graham and Jake leaving, everybody's back. So that bodes very well for us. A lot of experience. Guys are healthy. That's great. JU's back, which is big for us. And I think the biggest thing is talent. You look across the board, and as a opposing defensive coordinator, I don't know how I'm going to prepare for this team. You look at JU and Amara and Davion in the backfield, Grant Perry in the slot, Jake Butt. You look across, anybody could get the ball on any given play and score.
Plaza, I imagine you've been asked this already, but how do you feel about how you've done with those tests and your odds of being the guy under center in Hawaii?
Yeah, I feel like I've handled everything well and done everything I need to do. And that's what I said before. You can't really compare yourself to the other guys, or you'll lose focus on what you're doing. And I think I've done a good job of it.
John, do you feel like taking care of the ball was the one thing standing between you and taking off here, and really kind of maybe putting distance between yourself and the rest? Do you feel like that was the one thing that was kind of standing in your way after spring and through the 1 or 2?
Yeah, I'd say that's probably the biggest thing. I felt like that was something all three of us would say we didn't do a good job of in spring ball. And I think all three of us are protecting the ball well. I think all three of us feel really good about where we're at right now.
Are the three of you still the mean girls, or are there more dads in the room?
I think there's more dads in the room, honestly. Yeah, I think now we've kind of realized what's at stake, and all of us have kind of stepped up, and it's been great. The competition really has brought us all closer, and it's elevated all of us on and off the field. As leaders. And quarterbacks, just our general play on the field has gone to another level.
You talked about